Welcome to the CPL Winter 2003 Championship, which took place at the Hyatt Regency in Dallas. With $100,000 at stake in the Counter-Strike competition, there was all to play for, and with the world's leading clans converging to battle it out, it promised to be an action-packed tournament. The winter event had some strong clan lineups, but just who were this year's ones to watch?
It's interesting to me that Team SK could be the first team that has never lost in a calendar year of CPL.
The two favorites, the American Team 3D and the Swedish Team SK, and that's like the two teams that everybody knows.
Always come down, all these CPLs, it comes down to 3D and SK.
There are, this year, more dark horse teams than there have been in the past, so I think there'll be a few upsets before it's over with.
And Frank wasn't wrong. The first of the many upsets in this year's Winter CPL was a flu virus that laid low a number of clan members shortly before the start of the tournament. Worst hit was Shroud Commando, who flew in substitute Spawn from Sweden at the last minute to replace one of the three bedridden SK members. Winners of last year's Winter CPL, US Stars 3D, spent an unlucky year losing consistently to rivals SK, but were second favourites to win. Since the loss of Doug Wright, the new Four Kings lineup hasn't been tested in competition, but were placed with a healthy 5th seed, so we'll be keeping a close eye on their performance. Forsaken had the infamous fatality in the clan lineup, but it was unsure at this stage whether he'd be brought in to actually play in the tournament. German team Mouse Sports gained 3rd place at this year's CPL Europe, which was the main reason for their strong 4th seeding in the tournament. So, let's look at how the tournament works as terrorists take on counter-terrorists. Each Counter-Strike match is made up of 24 rounds, and each team plays a maximum of 12 rounds as terrorists and 12 rounds as counter-terrorists. The first to win 13 rounds wins the match. The overall Counter-Strike tournament is made up of 64 teams, or clans, who begin by playing one match in the upper bracket. At the end of round 1, the 32 winning clans stay in the upper bracket, while the 32 losers drop into the lower bracket. The same for round 2, and so on until the grand final. The lower bracket offers each clan a second chance, although if they lose a match here, they're out of the tournament. The grand final is between the winners of the upper bracket, who've not lost a single match, and the winners of the lower bracket, who've only lost one match in the whole tournament. But there's a catch. The winners of the lower bracket must beat their opponents twice to take the title, whereas the winners of the upper bracket only have to win once to become champions. No team from the losers bracket have ever won a tournament. Now that's clear, let's get down to business. We join the tournament in round 1 as 17th seeds Clan Online from Sweden take on Landsharks from America.
We are not going to play to lose, so definitely we'll take this match.
The tournament started for Online on Dust 2, the most popular tourney map that favours the terrorist. It was textbook Counter-Strike for Online, as they let the counter-terrorist take the first 2 rounds, allowing Online to save money and come into the 3rd round with AK-47s and full armour. They dominated Landshark with superior communication and aim. Terrorists were up 3-2 in round 6, and they rushed to beat a plant before counter-terrorists could react. The bomb was down before 1 minute passed, and the terrorists followed up by numerous grenades to the double doors to keep the counter-terrorists off guard long enough for the bomb to explode. There was nothing for Landshark to do. Terrorists win. Online are now counter-terrorists. Again, they've let Landshark take 3 rounds and built up their money. Sniper rifles and M16s allow them to rush the A bomb site and defuse while taking fire with only seconds and a few health points to go. The match ended with a 13-5 win to Online.
We think the match went really good. We had a bit of a stress in the start. We lost the first gun round, but we picked it up as quickly as possible, basically.
Outside! Outside!
The big shock news early on was that second favourites 3D were knocked into the lower bracket in the third round by 18th seed United 5.
Good job, guys.
Nor did Forsaken live up to the hype over Fatality, and they too dropped quickly into the lower bracket, leaving favourites SK with a far clearer path to the title. Although the way this tournament was shaping up, anything could happen. So, the upper bracket quarter-finals lineup is looking a little unfamiliar. SK prepare to face American clan RDW, Four Kings take on the German clan Mouse Sports, NOA, who knocked Forsaken out of the upper bracket, and United 5, who knocked out 3D, are both through. NOA to face Team 64, and United 5 to face 7th seeds Adrenaline. Our featured match for the last 8 is the Anglo-German battle between Four Kings and Mouse Sports. D-Cobble is Four Kings' least favourite map. It's a very defensive map, with the counter-terrorists starting in a very good position to defend both bomb sites. Mouse and Four Kings are well balanced, with Mouse having the edge on experience in their current lineup. Four Kings begin the round as terrorists and need to keep the score difference low before the second half, while Mouse Sports played a waiting game in the first half. Even when Four Kings cleared a path to the bomb site, it was often too little, too late.
Counter-terrorists win.
Later in the half, Ignotti and Mangia Capra turned the tables, cleaning out the bomb site, forcing Mouse to try and rush them. The match continued in this round-robin style until Mouse edged the win 13-11.
Terrorists win.
Yes! I thought we were better than Mouse Sports as players, but I knew our tactics wouldn't be as good, so it went sort of how we expected, but I reckon we would have beaten them if we'd practiced a bit more.
Elsewhere in the quarterfinals, SK also had a pretty tough workout against RDW, who did well to go down only 13-10 to the Swedish champions. The other last 8 matches were far more one-sided. Underdogs NOA defeated third seeds Team 64 13-5, and after knocking out 3D, United 5 were unable to capitalise on their great form so far and were taken down by Adrenaline GX 13-7. On to the semi-finals, and the next round saw Mouse Sports hit the immovable wall that is SK. Perhaps drained a little by their hard-fought win over Four Kings, Mouse Sports went down to a landslide 13-2 defeat on D-Newt.
Terrorists win.
It went really good. We went 13-2 in our favour.
13-2 was also the scoreline when NOA knocked out Adrenaline with a stunning win that took them into the upper bracket final and put them up against the apparently unstoppable Schroek Commando. A tough call, but NOA were clearly in the form of their lives. In the entire history of CPL, the winner of the upper bracket final has always gone on to take the Counter-Strike title. Could this be the year to change all that? It's the vintage SK lineup for the upper bracket final against the dark horses NOA. The reigning champions benched super sub Spawn to run their regular lineup of Al, Fisker, Heaton, Potty and Element as they boot-camped on Inferno heavily. NOA fielding their 5 players BSL, Knoxville, Nikon, Method and Shaguar. Although SK dominated the first 10 rounds of the game, NOA took advantage of an attack of overconfidence and took the last 2 rounds, managing to box Potty in.
Counter-terrorists win.
The second half went all NOA's way. Some clumsy defending by SK meant NOA did some catching up, and they took 8 rounds before SK got back in the game and sealed their place in the final.
Counter-terrorists win.
We sort of just threw it away with the last round.
But I mean, like, we played well terrorists, and it just wasn't enough. Just wasn't good enough.
I think we all relaxed a bit too much because we thought we had the game, because we're usually a lot better as CT than terrorists, and then everybody was like, "Oh, we won the game," and then you start to relax too much, but we made it in the end. So.
As we've already seen, some of the biggest names in professional Counter-Strike ended up in the lower bracket far earlier than expected. In fact, US Hotshots 3D didn't make it beyond the third round, losing 13-3 to the 10th seeds made in Brazil. As usual, the later stages of the lower bracket were dominated by the informed teams who just lost in the upper bracket quarters and semis. So, it was no surprise to find 4th seeds Mouse Sports still in contention for a place in the tournament final, taking out Adrenaline 15-8 on their way to the final match in the lower bracket. What was a big surprise was that their opponents were NOA, seeded 23 places below them. Winter CPL 2003 was certainly shaping up as a tournament of upsets, and NOA's run of form continued. To the shock of many spectators, the 27th seeded NOA muscled aside one of the pre-tournament favourites by a comfortable 13-2 and earned themselves a second crack at SK in the grand final.
Terrorists win.
Well, we have SK, we have NOA. SK are the returning champions. These guys rarely ever lose.
So I think, yeah, if we get the first couple of rounds, I think it will start rolling and rolling. So I think we'll have this game.
I think everybody's excited about their first CPL finals, and everybody's been to a lot of CPLs, so I don't think anybody's feeling nervous. I think we're all feeling good.
They're going to have to beat SK twice, and to beat them once is hard enough. So playing from that loser's bracket is going to make it doubly hard for NOA.
They're all very, very skilled world-class players, so any one of them can make a difference.
Honestly, I think whoever SK plays off of the bench or the standard lineup, they're going to be top-notch.
I think the best way to win is just to shoot them.
It's a David and Goliath situation, and I really feel that SK is going to dominate.
So, the Winter CPL 2003 Grand Final was to be a rerun of the upper bracket match between the informed underdogs, NOA, and the so far unstoppable Shroud Commando. Would the result be the same yet again, or would NOA rewrite CPL history and take the tournament? SK won the toss and began the game as terrorists on D-Dust 2.
Everyone's expecting SK to just play one match and then be the repeating champions, but that would be exciting to see NOA win the first match, push it to a second match, and then have that match go down to the wire. That would be great.
And we are going to be looking at game point here at TSN. 4-0 is the score in favor of SK. They are one away from being CPL champions.
Yeah, we're at game point. Strap yourselves down for the last engagement. Bomb being left behind. Now, Viking making his way up towards B. The rest of the squad advancing in a split. Shaguar making his way towards B, sending 3 up middle. Mitchell now, short middle. Or I guess you can call it that. Oh man, Fisker right there makes it happen against Viking. And
the bomb is down in the B tunnels here as Fisker just took down 2 members of NOA. Shaguar and Viking both got dropped there by Fisker inside those B tunnels. Bomb is down. SK gonna have to lock it down now. They need this round to win. Element rotating.
They got it.
Dang, Niken and Method are in the middle. Finally, Daylight takes down Heaton, picking up a kill there for NOA, trying to give them some hope.
NOA 2 members down for SK. NOA better get something done, who?
Yeah, they need to right now. SK does have that bomb locked down. NOA is probably going to regroup. They got to go into the B tunnels. They have no choice. This is game point for SK. If they get this, they will win. Right now, though, we have NOA who's moving up. Oh, man, Party's dropping.
Nice.
Oh, no, that's not good for NOA.
CT's win. It is game over. SK, your champions. One more time.
We're pretty good on Dust 2. That's one of our best maps, so we felt confident. But we played with a lineup that never ever played before. We haven't even practiced with it. So it was a kind of a long shot, but we made it.
So, that was CPL Winter 2003. As predicted at the start, it was a tournament of upsets and surprises. 3D were just one of the top teams who bombed out early, and so much for Fatality's much vaunted professional Counter-Strike debut. He didn't even get a game.
In first place, a team that has managed to win the entire CPL season.
Sweden's Shroud Commando ended the tournament and the year undefeated, a CPL first. With this historic feat under their belts and $105,000 CPL prize money for the year in their pockets, SK were rightly crowned CPL champions of 2003. Is there anyone out there who can topple them in 2004?